Good evening. I am here to talk to you about Darkness Emergent Atlanta. If you don't know about Darkness Emergent, I talk about it a lot. Check out those videos where I do that. Time is of the essence for this, because this one in Atlanta is on November 6th to November 9th, which means that's pretty soon, but not too soon, where if you don't already have a ticket, you can't still get one and go. And if you're like me and you run on divine time, you get all the time in the world. But you should do it sooner than later. Let's make that character creation team really earn their keep. I'm very stoked for this. And also I'm attending with April Raygun, who, if you don't know what's wrong with you, and also they're TTRPG extraordinaire, have done a lot of their own stuff, but also they're right here on this channel, playing in a lot of my games, all the way back from Hades High School, and also the game master of the Tales of Valiant campaign here, which you'll be seeing more of very soon. April's going to be helping me out, making sure I actually leave one of these events with photographic evidence that I was there, maybe even video evidence. Pretty stoked for that. It's their first LARP. They're gonna make sure I breach my suffering quota. And also, they made some really cool friendship bracelets and stuff like that, which pretty cool. So you should go, if nothing else, to get a limited edition, once in a lifetime Summon Stories jewelry thing. Let me give you a quick rundown, quick for me, about what's going to be going on at Darkness Emergent Atlanta, because they're also going to be helping me with a little project that I'm doing that I'll talk about later. That's pretty cool and something I very much need help with. So I'm so grateful that they'll be there. So as I said, Darkness Emergent Atlanta, November 6th to 9th. It is taking place at, well, partially the Hilton, partially at the Ventana, which is this cool event space that has really big windows and is high enough up where you can really get that sort of hands behind your back, look out at the city moment, which I live for those moments. It also has a helipad, which will be used as some of the players, which I don't know if those tickets are still available. You should check. Will literally be arriving by helicopter, which is so fucking extra, and I'm very excited for. It's Darkness Emergent, so of course you have your LARPs, you have your Dinner with Darkness, your Meet the Court, Club Seraphim, which is sort of a light RP social type of thing, as well as the 2 nights of the main meal, the big LARP. They also got side LARPs. They have a Hunter one, a Giovanni wedding rehearsal dinner. Dark Epics, it's very cool. It's where you play as like powerhouses, like the big bads that usually are running like global schemes behind the scenes in the world of Darkness. You get to play as them in this very heavy political horror LARP. That's also an ongoing thing you can join, and wouldn't you know it, I'm going to be an NPC for it. This one's called Dancing on Graves. It's going to be a masquerade. I might be playing a vampire, shockingly. And I'm very excited for this. The panels, they're doing a little different this time. A lot of times there's panels each day on a variety of topics. This time seems more LARP focused, where the panels are more instructions on how to LARP, actual rules, and all of that we will be using for this particular LARP, which I think is a response to some of the feedback from before, and which is one of the many reasons I really like Darkness Emergent. They very much like each one they adjust, and they take the feedback really seriously, and that's really cool seeing like direct results of the feedback from one event to another, and this is one of them. So if you're new to LARP, as there's always a nice chunk of new people there, which is really cool, as well as a lot of returning people. There's going to be some really good panels to kind of get you acclimated. Then there's always social events or sort of bonus events. There's the seventh tradition is what they're calling one of the after hours things that's going to be a rave theme. There's Seraphim, which I mentioned, which is sort of a mix of like it's kind of RP optional. There's karaoke of the damned, which if you know, you know. Karaoke's life. And then of course, vampires and Mino. If you want to do a little whining and dining, some of the movers and shakers in White Wolf and World of Darkness. And there's also a tabletop game that Cynthia Marie is running that you can play in. As always, you can get custom fangs made there, which one day, it's going to be me. And then I'm going to be all in. But they look awesome. You should do that. And you can also do photography packages with Diablo visuals, who always are amazing. And thanks to sweet, generous Robert, aka Baron Abbott, I'm going to be in some of those. So that's going to be exciting. If nothing else, if April totally fails, I will still have good picks because of this. So that's big for me. And it also rolls in a little bit with the project I will be doing, which is interviews. You're like, wait, you do that? Yeah, I do that. But this time, I'm pointing this camera at the people. By people, I mean players. I'll be doing sort of documentary style interviews with people actually attending. It's the exact details are still in the works, but I think enough is locked in where I'm comfortable talking about it here. And also, if I don't say it now, then when? So if you're going to be there and you want to talk about LARPing specifically, you have that opportunity. Let's make some magic. By magic, I mean recorded interviews. And the plan is to do this with people who are getting some of the photography packages. So one, you're going to see some of the sweet looks, which is always a highlight for me, the costuming that people do for this. And then also, word on the street is there might be some in-character interviews. So interview with the vampire style, except you're the vampires. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Special guests, as there always are special guests at these. This time around, we have Mark Meir, who, if you don't know, you might recognize them if you're a vampire person. They were Chas Price, genuinely maybe my favorite villain in LA by Night. They were so good. I love them so much. But also voice actor, writer, performer extraordinaire. Commander Shepard, if you know your Mass Effect. But anyway, they're playing Tajirius, who's this Banu Akeem elder, also the one who married Victoria Ash to sort of symbolize that clan joining the Ivory Tower, the Camarilla, and also the alliance, the Camarilla and the Ashira. Then we have Miss Magitek, speaking of Victoria Ash, who's revising her role as that. She played Victoria Ash in LA, hosted the Succubus Club there. Magitek, again, if you know anything World of Darkness, you should be aware of her. Magi RPG, By Night Studios ambassador. Check her stuff out, absolutely. But yeah, she's playing Victoria Ash, and who apparently is trying to reclaim some of her influence in Atlanta. And she brought her husband / blood bond mate. So I think should be very interesting. I'm very excited for this. And then Bridget Jeffers, who's community coordinator for Chaosium, a TTRPG publisher, probably best known for Call of Cthulhu. They also run a really good TTRPG channel, Symphony Entertainment, that focuses on some horror stuff. And they've hosted the Ennies. They've won Ennies for the awards that are presented at Gen Con. Anyway, they're playing Prince Monica Monroe, who I'm not as familiar with lore-wise, but they're the prince of the city we're going to be in. So betting they have a lot to say, and interested to see what kind of prince they are. Because I'm coming in hot. And by hot, I mean anarch hot. as always, they have their tentpole plots. At the time of recording this, they've released some of them, so I'll talk about those a little bit. One is basically there's a mole. Second Inquisition, the entity specifically, has placed a mole at this event, so I'm sure everything will be perfectly fine with that. And then, also, I mean, there's just the whole Victoria Ash and Tajarius being there. And then there's a trial, which I'm very excited about. And also, it's a really cool thing that Darkness Emergent does. So back in Chicago, a year and a half ago at this point, there was Germain, who's this elder Bruja, child of Critias, who infiltrated that event, revealed himself at one point. And by revealed, I mean because he's on the red list, the Camarill's most wanted. And he's like, hey, I'm here actually, and I'll surrender, but only if I get a fair trial. It was sort of negotiated. And the Cam said, sure, fine. But they staked his ass. And here, a year and a half later, we're having that trial in Atlanta. And I'm excited because in Chicago, my character, Toledo, was Tarkus, not very political at all. After LA, we're ready. And also, I know it's not that kind of trial, but it could be where I could be a Southern lawyer. I could be padding, get a little hanky, wipe the sweat off my brow. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, to be a Southern lawyer in a sweaty courtroom. But yeah, those are a taste of some of the things that will be going down plot-wise. So again, if you want to know how to attend, I got links in the description. Click on those. They'll get your tickets. I know many of the tiers, or some of the tiers have already sold out, but there's still some left. You can still get in there. You can still get there. You could hang out with me. You can get a bracelet. You can get an interview. You can get everything you've ever wanted if you could just get to Atlanta on November 6th. So do that. Also join the Discord. I've been active in there. Huge for me. A member of the community. And team there's awesome. Super active. They'll answer any questions you need beyond that. And if you want to know, if you've seen my last video, if you have 10 hours of free time to listen to me tell like the minute by minute what happened to my character during the last Darkness Emergent, check that out. And I'm very excited to continue that story. As I said, this time coming in a little more politically revved up. And then we'll see what happens with the whole Edith thing. I'm sure it'll be fine. And also, April will be there for her first LARP. And she may or may not be playing a person who used to be in a cult that Toledo ran and has sort of been stalking him and now has finally found him and has a scrapbook of him. So, yeah. Atlanta should be pretty fun. And I hope to see you there. Bye.